Hello, my name is Ilia Blandina. Oh, I think, here we go. Now it's live. Hi, my name is Ilia Blandina, and you've come to childbirthwithgrace.tv, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It's almost mid February on a leap year, and this weekend is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day for all of you out there. And today we're going to talk about finding the love of a lifetime. And as always, my intention is to awaken your life power to your best possible birth journey. And it's interesting when I was trying to figure out what to talk about today. I've been reading several books, and I mentioned before. So, one of the exercises we're going to do today, or I'm going to teach about today, comes from the book Love, Love, Life Loves You, Life Loves You by Louis Robert Holden. And it's a really, really nice book, has a lot of practical information on increasing the love in your life and realizing that life does love you despite all of our uh, negative experiences or events or whatever's going on in your life. It's just a different way of looking at things. So, without much ado, let me see. I'm going to bring up what I'm talking about. And a little housekeeping. First of all, down below, there's a comment section. So if you want to leave a comment, by all means, just go ahead and write one in. Before you do that, there's a little box that says refresh, auto refresh the comments, uncheck that. So that way, while you're typing something in, it doesn't all of a sudden uh, refresh on you, because it does refresh like every 90 seconds or something like that. Let's see here. Ooh, trying to bring up the information. All right. So basically, the title is Finding the Love of Your Life. And really, and it's taken me quite a long time to figure this out. I think it takes everyone a long time to figure it out. Is that the love of your life is loving yourself, and that's really hard to do with tapping, which is one of the things I teach you to do. With the statement that you say at the side of your hand, um, even though this is happening to me and I feel sad, I deeply and completely accept myself. Self acceptance, love, it's the same thing. And a lot of times it's really hard to say that statement. So, what I'm offering today is a way to help you change your mind on how you see yourself. And, and one of the ways to think about it is, you know, I am lovable. And what does that come up when you say that to yourself? And the opposite of that is I'm not lovable. And it's actually not true. It's a story that comes in your head, that you make up in your head. Um, just prior to the show, to the class, I posted a video, and I put babies are so cute. And it was a video I found of bats being swaddled, put in little swaddling, and they were being fed from these little tiny little bat bottles. And I mean, bats, right? They're so cute. And it's just really, I mean, how you think of, how you look at it. You usually think of a bat, this thing coming at you. And whatever, vampire, Count Dracula, and all these negative things. But then here's this video, and it takes these little baby bats, and they get all nice and swaddled and fed, and they look so cute. And so I am lovable, just like the bats, the little tiny baby bats. And it reminds me of the phrase, when we were kids and you had a crush on someone, you get a flower, and same thing. She loves me not, or he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. And and of course, you always wish that the petals lands on he loves me, right? So same kind of thing. I am lovable. I'm not lovable. I'm not lovable is just not true. And one of the ways, of course, that we tend to feel not lovable is when we see ourselves in the mirror. So, and one of the ways you can think of this is, I mean, the mirror is just there. It's really not judging you. It's just there. Who's really judging you is you when you look at yourself in the mirror and you start looking at all the negative aspects that for whatever reason you pick up on instead of the positive aspects. So that's also, and it's from the book Life Loves You. It's also called the mirror principle. um, that's coined by Robert Holden. And what it does is it teaches us that your relationship with yourself is a mirror in the relationship that you have with others and everything else around you. So, the relationship you have with yourself is reflected in all the relationships you have with either your family, your friends, lovers, uh, even strangers. Because I mean, I don't know if you've seen. There's actually a thing in our brain called mirror neurons, and you could exercise this out when you're out and about shopping. If you look at someone and you don't smile, they don't smile back. If you look at them and you smile, the tendency is that they're going to smile back at you, and that's because of the mirror neurons that we have built into our brain. So really, the how you feel about yourself will come through with your expression and how you carry yourself, and it gets mirrored back from even perfect strangers, from authority figures, people that you feel you're in competition with, yeah, anyone that you tend to gravitate towards, even what you like what heroes you like, what villains you like. It's all a mirror of how you feel about yourself. So just sort of pay attention as you go through the day and see what you gravitate towards, and just sort of think about how how is this reflecting me, and do I like it, and see if it's a positive thing in your life. So the sense of who you are influences your thoughts, and um, and what you identify with, essentially. And the most effective way to change how you see yourself is to actually just change your mind about it. And it sounds like really super simple, and theoretically it is, but it's so hard because we have a natural resistance to want to do that, um, based on what's happened to us throughout our lives. So um, and really and also based on just all the information that our brain is always processing. There's about the brain receives about anywhere from 10 to 11 billion bits of information every second. And it filters the information down to about 2,000 bits per second. So that's still a lot. And what you filter and how your brain filters it, it's dependent on your self image. And that's basically how you filter the world, is how you feel about yourself, is how you filter. So, um, and it sort of uh, creates what it's sort of like a give and take. Whatever you put out comes back at you, and those kind of things. So we see things not as really what they truly are, but as we are. So, and this creates all of your our relationships with everything as a mirror. So you don't have to actually be in front of a mirror to work on self image. You What you need to do is start thinking about and being conscious about what you're thinking as you go throughout the day. uh, and one of the things an interesting prospect is to say to yourself, I'm beautiful and everybody loves me, and see how that feels, and see how that sits in you. And what you want to do is really try to let go of judging and criticizing and comparing yourself to others, because that's when you stumble and you fall, and you end up living more in the ego as opposed to your higher self. And and um and you don't achieve that acceptance that you need to go out and feel comfortable in your own skin. Now, how does this relate to childbirth? Huge, huge, huge. If you don't have self-confidence and you're not comfortable in your body, then it's going to affect the course of your pregnancy, how much stress you are under, how you respond to the world. And boy, what a time. It's a time when your emotions are like woo, all the way like astronomical. And that's okay. But it's a really great time too to do a lot of self reflection, because here you are, you're pregnant, you have a new life that's going to enter our world, and then you're going to have to raise the baby and teach your baby all kinds of different things. And that by working on yourself first, it's gonna affect in so many positive ways your relationship with yourself, with your baby, your partner, all the way through uh, your whole life. Um, because when you say I'm lovable, that's considered the unconditioned self. It's like your pure essence. Okay. And then when you say I'm not lovable, it's really based off of fear, and it has a lot of ego. I mean, uh, of course you're lovable. I mean, you were a baby too, just like the baby bats, just like your baby that's coming. Pure love is just going to enter your life through a wonderful baby. And one of the ways to really prepare yourself is to embody the whole concept that life loves me and life loves you. Okay. So what happens when you and here's a good quote from Louise Hay. When you judge, you see flaws, but when you love, you see your essence. Ooh, I love that. I'm going to repeat that one more time. When you judge, you see flaws, but when you love, you see your essence. Ooh, that's juicy. I like that. I think we need to repeat that all day long. So, in what ends up happening is the world mirrors how we feel about ourselves. Huge, huge concept. And it ties into the whole title of this class, which is Finding the Love of a Lifetime. And it starts with you. And that's like probably the hardest concept to um, break through, especially as an adult, because once you're an adult, you've gone through who knows what, and who knows what kind of events in your life that somehow you you changed your mind and you thought I'm not lovable, when it's really just a story. And tapping is like one of the best things that you could do to break beyond all the negative events that you didn't want to happen in your life, and by breaking how you think about them. So here's an interesting practice that you can do, and it's a twist on what's in the book, but it's still based on what's in the book, but with a tapping element to it. And it's actually practice one in the book, Life Loves You by Robert Holden and Louise Hay. So what they teach in the book, one of the first practices that they teach in the book is uh, to letting life love you, is it combines self love and mirror work. So, and standing in front of a mirror and talking to yourself can be pretty difficult, but this is a really great way to reveal maybe some resistance or things that you're actually always saying in your head or you're thinking, and you're not really aware of it, and it comes out in how you interact with the world. So first thing you want to do is you want to meet the most important person in your life. Who is that? You guessed it, it's you. I mean, uh, our body's a temple. It's written in the Bible. I'm sure that you guys are very very familiar with that, and it's very true. You're This is it. This is our soul is hanging out in this body. This is the most important person in your life. And what I invite you to do is to go to the mirror and meet yourself again for the first time. I know it sounds funny, but um, the relation. How about if I were to tell you that I wanted to introduce you to someone who's your relationship with this person influences your relationship with everyone and everything. Wouldn't you want to meet that person? Of course, I would. Awesome. Go to the mirror. There she is. Oh my God. Wow. That was shocking when I first thought of that idea. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Now, what you want to do is take a deep breath in, ah, and and look in the mirror and say, "Life loves me," and then exhale. Now, you want to do this 10 times. Just do it. Play. Make it into a game. Don't be heavy about it. Just say the words. 3 easy words. Life loves me. Looking in the mirror. Inhale and exhale and say, Life loves me. Awesome. Keep going. Do it 10 times. Inhale again and exhale. Life loves me. And just do it in all kinds of different ways, but just try to do it 10 times. And then while you're doing it, pay attention to what comes up in 3 different areas. One is sensation, and that is your body speaking to you, and that you're going to feel like either tension or um, or pain or whatever you feel in your body, stomach ache, uh, your eyes twitching, like in the cartoons when you start getting when the character starts getting a little wacky. And then pay attention to feelings, whatever emotions are coming up. So, are you are you sad? Are you angry? Frustrated? Um, does it feel? All those kind of feel like. Do you feel tension and at the same time, like anxiety when you say that? So, and feelings are uh, thoughts from your heart, basically. So, and then the third thing to pay attention to when you say life loves me 10 times in the mirror is any thoughts that may come up in your head, like, this is silly. I can't believe I'm doing this. This isn't going to work. I don't want to do this. Any of those kind of phrases. And of course that's your mental thoughts that are coming in, or like I've been teaching your inner monologue, which this is an excellent exercise, let me tell you, for getting ready for childbirth, because just think of it. You're gonna wherever you are, doesn't matter, um you're gonna have a baby, whether you have a baby at home, whether you have a baby in the hospital, at a birth center, out in the woods. Well, hopefully with other people. Um, but my point is when you're having a baby, you become your most vulnerable self, and you really you reach what I call like the 0 point, the point where something is ending and something is beginning at the same exact time. Where, as I was talking about, I think, was it last week or the week before, where something is expanding and contracting at the same time. Those kind of concepts. And you have to be able to keep that in balance. And if you don't come from a place of love, of being comfortable and accepting where you are, then it's going to be a lot harder to be in labor, because labor, if anything, puts you in complete true mindfulness, besides meditation. But still, in meditation you can go all kinds. But when you're in labor, you are so present, it's crazy. And what you bring to the table when you're in labor, that the inner thoughts and your feelings, if you haven't cleared that beforehand, it's going to get in the way of your expansion. Okay. And you need to be able to expand, to bring in a new life into this world, to physically make room for the baby. You have to mentally, spiritually, soulfully expand and completely feel safe in the body that you're in, and feel safe to be around others while you're naked. Big, huge. So don't underestimate the idea of finding the love of a lifetime in yourself, because it's going to come back at you, and you want it to come back in like beautiful, serene. I guess it was last week. Yeah, I had that the lady laying in the grass with all the flowers and petals around her, and she was so serene. And that's how labor should be. So again, the exercise is so simple. And then you want to stand in front of a mirror, say, life loves me. You inhale, you exhale, do it 10 times. Think of three areas that things may come up. And it could be positive things too. Okay. So if it's positive stuff, great. But write it all down and don't judge what comes up. Don't judge. Just sort of get your journal out, write down any sensations, that's your body speaking to you, any feelings, that's your heart speaking to you, so any emotions that are coming up, and then any thoughts, and that's your mind, your inner monologue coming out. So you want to write that all out, and and you want to be honest. That's the best way to approach this. Be honest, but be lighthearted. Don't beat yourself up about it. Be compassionate. Give yourself some room to laugh about it, even, uh, and and try not to say things to yourself like, or if you are saying it, write it down, because if you say life loves me and then in your mind it says, because of this, because I just got a raise, because of whatever, because don't write that down as a because, but don't, that's not what this is all about. It's just about the three words, life loves me. That's it. Try to get rid of the becauses, try to get rid of any ifs. If any ifs come, life loves me if I can have a baby as naturally as possible without anyone bothering me. And no, no, no. You could write that down in your journal, that came up, that was a thought that came up. Okay. Because what you write in your journal actually will become a really great way to tap on the problems, or the possible problems that are happening with you. So, for example, if you say life loves me and you feel your stomach start getting queasy, and then you think to yourself, um, yeah, but whatever that is, and then you feel sad or you feel afraid, then that's something that you can tap on. Even though I feel fear about the idea of life loving me, when I looked in the mirror and I thought of this negative thing, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then you tap on that. Even though I feel fear, you could tap on all the things separately. What you're feeling in your body, the emotion you're feeling, and even the thought. If it's a negative thought, even though I have this negative thought when I said this, these are all things to tap on. And one of the things too, it even works better, is when you can reflect on, after journaling what comes up, reflect on maybe what specific events happened to you in the past that brought makes you feel this a certain way when you say these words. Okay. And then you can tap on your feelings on that event. Now, this sounds really complicated, or it sounds hard to do, or you feel like you need some help or guidance. By all means, please reach out and book me for a free chat, because then we could see if I can help you out, and see if I could give you better guidance than trying to figure it all out on your own. Okay. Because really the bottom line, it's all about unconditional love, and how to manifest that in your life, in how you feel about yourself, and what you see in the mirror. And again, um, and then at the end of the exercise, when you've said it the 10 times and you've journaled and uh, tapped on any of the negative things that came up, uh, say to yourself in the mirror, this, I'm willing to let life love me today. And that's just a little baby step. And you can say that while you're tapping, after you've tapped on all the negative things and you feel like there's no negative emotions lingering about saying life loves me in the mirror. You could just say, well, I am willing to let life love me today. So that's basically a good thing to sort of end up with after you do this exercise. So, again, this is a wonderful exercise. It can reveal all your basic fears, all your self judgments, and and once again, I want to say, be compassionate with yourself, be lighthearted. Don't get too heavy. If you start getting too heavy because you have this overwhelm of all these emotions when you start doing this exercise, you could just tap and you don't even have to say anything. And that just and take deep breaths, tap, and get yourself back centered, and then go back at this exercise in a lighthearted, playful way, and just see what tip of the iceberg might be coming up for you that you hadn't noticed before. And it's just a wonderful exercise. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I was resistant, didn't want to do it, but in the end, it was worth doing. So remember, when you feel lovable, you experience the world um, differently. The world ends up loving you back because the world is your own personal mirror. You don't have to be in the mirror to to end up seeing yourself, because there's a saying that everyone you meet is is a part of you that is trying to teach you something to work on or to even appreciate. You don't even have to work. You just, it could be someone that you meet to appreciate something too. It doesn't have to all be negative. Um, so in the end, it's all about self acceptance and being comfortable who you are. And once you're there, then anything's possible. Uh, Once you're there, your stress hormones start melting away. Your hormones of love and self acceptance and regeneration. Because remember, our body's always regenerating itself. You know, some there's some skin falling off right now, and then new skin cell. I mean, you don't see it, but think about it. You're born and you were a baby once, and through the years, now you're this person. Wow, holy mackerel! Can you imagine that if slow mo, what do you call it? No, time lapse photography on something like that, we'd be morphing like in that Star Trek movie. Was it when Spock morphed in from a teenager? Anyways, I'm digressing. I'm digressing. Okay, so that was the class for today. And if you're joining us late, my name is Ilya Blandina. This Childbirth with Grace.tv, and this is going to be on replay. Don't worry. I'll be here again next Wednesday, and let's try and do a little meditation now. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm hoping this works out. Oh, okay. I'm gonna share, and see. Okay. you should be seeing a beautiful paper heart in the palm of someone's hand. And my offering to you in today's class is finding the love of a lifetime in yourself. So just take a deep breath in and exhale. And with the exhale, let your body sink in to your chair. Put your feet flat on the ground and just let your body relax. Inhale, love. The love of life. And exhale any tension that you may feel in your body. And you can close your eyes or just gaze at the picture of the wonderful heart. In the palm of your hand. And just imagine that you're holding your own self in the palm of your hand. That the palms of your hand is a metaphor for life. If you were holding your own self in your own hands, wouldn't you love yourself and take care of yourself? And treat it as gently as possible. And just feel all of that loving kindness just emanating from your hands straight into you as you just expanded yourself and you're holding your own self. Your higher self is holding you. And see how that feels. What are the sensations that you feel when you think of being held by the most important person in your life? And that is you. I invite you to hold yourself in high honor. In high honor of serving yourself, and through serving yourself, you serve the world and all your family and friends. By showing up in your highest vibration of love and knowing that life loves you. you are helping others to also love you. Take a deep breath of that love and then exhale it. Some of you out there may be with partners this Valentine's Day, and some may be by yourselves, and that's okay. Just know that life does love you in every way. Think of the trees, how they're on this earth and they put out oxygen that you breathe in. Take a deep breath in and out. And then when you breathe out, you let out carbon dioxide. And the trees breathe that in. Just that small cycle of coexisting with the earth is evidence that life loves you. The trees giving you oxygen and then you giving them back carbon dioxide. Just hold that thought. Now expand yourself and feel the love that you have for your whole family. And then feel the love that you have for your pets. Feel the love that you have for your coworkers. Feel the love that you have for your neighbors. And let that feeling of love just expand throughout your whole neighborhood. And then your whole town. Then out into the city. And keep expanding that vision of love, spreading out to the whole country. Then out into the oceans. Then out into the whole world. Imagine that you're holding the whole world in your hands. All that feeling of love, the feeling of love, life loves me. The earth loves me. The universe loves me. And that wonderful feeling of awe and peace of how important we are in this world, of how whatever we do, we're all connected. Just think, as you are looking for love in yourself, so is everyone else. Everyone is striving for the same goal of feeling life loving you. And just let yourself see this wonderful, bright, beautiful, luminescent light in the palm of your hands of love. And bring your hands to your heart and just fill your heart with all that love and let that radiate through all the neural pathways of your body, through all the cells of your body, all the way down to your DNA, throughout all time, space, and place. The feeling of love, the love of your lifetime. It's in your heart. And it is you. And when you're ready, just breathe it out into the universe and surround yourself with love. And at count of three, if your eyes were closed, open them. If you were gently staring at the picture on the screen, just start bringing yourself to the present. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, that concludes our class for this week. And don't worry if you are catching us later. It'll be here. If you missed it, it'll be here. And always remember that you're The tree of your celestial family is always there, ready and willing to help you awaken your life power to the best possible birth you can ever have, either the birth of your child or the birth of yourself. So until we see each other next week, keep tapping and stay in peace and love and be present. All right. I'll see you next week. Happy Valentine's Day.